Welcome back, everybody. This is your favorite, least educated music podcast on the entire internet. We don't know Toots. We are joined, as always, by my brother Steve. This is Rob, and I'm joined with my brother Steve. What's going on, Steve?
Oh, not too much, my brother Rob. What's going on with you?
Oh, just rocking out to the new Rain City Drive album. Things are different now. Yeah.
Do tell.
Have you been listening to that?
I have also been listening to that album.
No way. We should talk about it today.
Let's do that.
Actually, at the time of this recording, Trash Boat also released a new album. And I thought about maybe we could squeeze it in at the beginning because it was kind of a shorter album. But I think we're just going to dedicate today to good old Rain City Drive.
That's a good call because...
You didn't listen to it.
Did not listen to it, no.
I did text you about it.
You did text me about it. But as I texted you, I was quite busy the past 2 days, so I didn't even register my ring.
I wasn't blown away by the Trash Boat album, to be honest.
Trash
Boats, I guess
they're hit or miss for me, honestly.
I really like Trash Boat, and I mean I liked the album, but I didn't know that I'd be able to, sit here and talk about it.
Yeah, I have a couple songs of theirs saved, but then I hear other songs and I'm like, that's not for me. It's not. So
yeah, well, we'll talk about Things Are Different Now, the new release from Rain City Drive. Rain City Drive, for those that don't know, is the band that came from the ashes of the band formerly known as Slaves, and Slaves lead singer Daniel Craig, all kinds of problems with that guy, so I think the rest of the band just decided to reform with a new vocalist, so we got Rain City Drive now.
Yeah.
And this is a band that I've known about for a while. Like, I know I've had some of their songs saved for... I mean, they haven't been around. Their first album came out in 2020, but I've had some of their songs saved since then, but I didn't really get into them until, like, probably this year, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
I had one of their songs saved, so I didn't really get into them until you suggested them on an earlier podcast, which I'm sure all of our listeners remember because they were listening to that podcast as well.
I know, I remember.
And so I went to them, and I'm like, oh, I already have one of their songs saved. And so I went through and gave them a listen when you suggested it. So I've been listening to them. But this album was very much my thing. It was a great album. So
I figured you were gonna like this album. Like, I was thinking about how, like, we always have very differing opinions, but I was listening to it and, like, just, I like this album too, but I was like, I bet me and Steve are gonna agree on a lot of these things this time for once.
Yeah, I think so. We'll see, because I have a couple where I was like, average, so we'll see if those were your favorites, because that's usually what ends up happening, so.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Well, tell me what you thought about the opening track, Lose My Composure.
That, I thought, was a fantastic intro to the album, and the end of that song just has you headbanging when they're just breaking it down, bro.
Right.
Just doing some banging. So that's a fantastic song. I don't know. That's gonna get repetitive for me. I can already tell you, but this is one of the songs that I saved. I saved a couple songs from this album. This is one of them.
Yeah, nice. So. Yeah, I was gonna more or less say the same thing. I also thought it was a really solid opening track. Really gets you. I mean, I thought it felt like I was headbanging through the entire song. Honestly, I really liked like the instrumental like intro to it. I really liked the line, got a third-degree burn from the devil on my shoulder. I thought that was a cool little line there.
It's got a nice flow between like the verses slow down a bit, so that when the chorus hits, it really gets you moving again. So I like the flow. A lot of these songs do have that really good flow that got me really into the instrumental side of it.
Right. Yeah, solid opening track for sure.
Yeah. 10 out of 10.
I'll say, and like, I might contradict myself slightly later in the episode here, but like, I feel like I've never heard a Rain City song where I'm like, wow, that sucked. Like, I didn't think any songs on this album sucked, but like, I've never heard one that I was just like, wow, don't want to hear that ever again.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd say I haven't really heard a bad one. I mean, like you said, how many albums do they even have? Do you know?
I think 4. I think this is their 4th.
Yeah, it looks like it. So,
I feel like they're gonna end up
time.
I feel like they're gonna end up in my top 5 for Wrapped this year because I've been listening to them a lot this year. Yeah,
I'm really curious what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get off on a tangent, but I'm super curious what's gonna happen with my Wrapped because like going through like all the songs that I've had on rotation, and I just do not have a consistent band. Like I can definitely pick out like 2 or 3 that are gonna be up there, but
yeah.
I'm really curious what's gonna be.
I am certain my number 1 for this year is gonna be Polaris because I think I actually talked about this on the last episode, but I have been listening to a lot of Polaris this year, and I at one point was planning to go see them, but then I didn't, and now I kind of wish I had. But I am certain that they are going to be I'm certain they're going to be my number 1.
Interesting. Mine's definitely going to be the Glorious Sons.
Really? That's an out of left field.
Dude, they have so much good music, and they have a range of music too. So I just consistently find like a new song that has a new sound from them, and I'm like, gosh, Glorious Sons, you did it again. So
they're a true Renaissance band.
Well, I'll put in the work to get Rain City Drive up there since they had such a great album.
It would be really embarrassing if the hosts of the best music podcast on the internet didn't have at least one similar band in their top 5 on Wrapped. That might end our career.
No, I think that would boost our credibility because we have such a wide range of music tastes that we bring to the table. What should we just have? Oh, my top.
See, look at that. We can't even agree. We can't even agree on that.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Yeah, it's for the best.
I guess. Speaking of the best, Wish You the Best.
I thought you were gonna say number 2 was your favorite.
Well, it's in the title. Wish You the Best, second song on the album. I really liked the lyrics to this chorus. The song was kind of about missing someone that you know you shouldn't be missing. Like, I miss you the best even though you're the worst. And then, like, I really like how he kind of does the whole... I noticed the singer does this a lot on a lot of their songs, but that, like, fluctuation he does when he holds out a word for a long time. He's like, wish you the best.
Yeah.
He does that a lot, and I really like the like acoustic outro to the song as well. I thought this was a good song.
Yeah, I was digging it as well. I wrote down with the lyrics because I'm like, when it says like when I'm feeling depressed, I miss the way that it hurts. I'm like, man, Rain City Drive had to have been so emo when they were in high school.
They were going. They sound still so emo. They've been going through it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that is a theme throughout this album. I was like taking notes on like the 3rd or 4th song, and I'm like, man, this song, they're pretty bummed out a lot of this album. So
I also noticed that I feel like a lot of the albums that we've been reviewing, at least recently, are very breakup centered. Like there's a lot of sad breakup lyrics a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Which I guess isn't, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but just odd. Oh, that's actually a good time to segue into something that we keep forgetting to announce.
Oh yeah.
Announcement I know time. In the past you and I have like covered other music genres outside of like the general alt rock scene, but me and Steve have agreed that we don't know Toots is best suited to the alt rock music scene. And that's like, I mean, we're still gonna like do our, Spotify Wrapped and end of the year top 5 albums and like dip into the occasional other genre, but I think in general we're gonna stick with rock because that's what we're best. That's what our predominant listening history is just rock. Because I feel like there's been like rap albums that I've wanted to talk about, and I know we did Logic once, and like you and I are not suited to but like especially like rap and hip hop, you and I are very not suited to discuss it. I don't think like I listen to more than you, but like even I just like we're kind of out of our element there.
I listen to almost none, so I'm really like my taste I feel like consistently throughout the past few years has broadened, but I still am consistently in the rock punk rock,
yeah, for sure,
pop rock kind of genres. I mean, I've got other stuff that I add, but this is still, I still go back to this and I'm like, man, this stuff is still fantastic. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be kind of on brand for the We Don't Know Toots brand to like talk about something we really don't know about, but then we just kind of sound stupid.
Yeah.
It's not always been the best end result. So we'll stick with what we know.
Yeah, I think that's for the best. So, and it's for the best for you guys. We are providing you with the most premium content that you can listen to. We did it for you.
Because we love you.
So much.
I love you, random citizen. All right. Well, there we go. There's our announcement that we finally remembered to do.
Perfect. Yeah, I even literally like on my way home today, I'm like, all right, you know what's happening at the beginning of this episode? And it didn't.
And it did
I mean,
not.
it's at the beginning, but not like at the beginning.
Yeah, we're still in like the first 15 minutes. We'll be all right. That
so
counts as beginning.
All right. Speaking of totally rebranding, Concrete Closure.
Yeah, this song screamed rebranding to me.
Yeah, I'm a marketing guy, and so I dip into that branding pool. And I was like, wow, they're branding here.
You're just like, if marketing had a theme song, it would be Concrete Closure by Rain City Drive.
So I'll be honest.
What do you think about it?
I didn't have. This was one of the songs where I was like, this felt like a pretty average song to me. I listened to it several times trying to pick something out to make a note on. And I was like, I don't know. It's like, it's still not bad. Instrumentals are still pretty solid. Like, it'll still, if I'm just cruising along with my windows down, like, I'll let this play on the shuffle probably, but it's not getting added to any playlists for me.
Dude, you're not going to believe this, but
no.
Same.
Oh, okay. I was like, you are just lying.
All I said was like, on the first listen, it wasn't really a favorite of mine. The chorus was kind of poppy. Like honestly, the whole song was kind of poppy.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, after a couple re-listens to the album, it grew on me a little bit, but it's still not really my favorite on the album.
Yeah, it felt, I don't know, like the lyrics weren't like super cool or interesting to me. It just nothing really snagged my attention. So I
don't know if it was like, it was almost, I don't know if this makes sense, but like it almost didn't fit the theme of the album, because like I know the lyrics were still sad, but like the song just sounded too happy for what they were doing with this album. And I like I said, it just sounded too poppy to me. So like it just sounded kind of like a almost like radio rock. I don't know if that is the term I'm looking for, but
I get what you're saying with radio rock though. It's
like you could play this in an ice cream shop while kids are picking out their ice cream and they'd be fine.
Yeah, it felt easy. Like I don't know, just the writing felt easy. So, well,
not a bad song, but not my favorite.
I am sorry, Rain City Drive, to give any negative, because I am a fan, and I am a big fan of this album, because overall, like I said, no song on here was bad. It's just there was a couple that I thought were average.
I mean, there's got to be a favorite, and there's got to be a least favorite, you know? So,
yeah.
Like, even if every song is a 10 out of 10 banger, you still got to pick a least favorite.
Yeah. So,
but Concrete Closure would be down there for me.
Yeah. I didn't write down what my least favorite is. I usually can pick out my favorite, and sometimes it is very obvious what my least favorite is, but this one was...
Honestly, I think that one might be my least favorite.
It might be. Well, how did you feel about Medicate Me, the next song on the track?
Dude, I love this song. This is one of their singles that they released, so I've known about this song for a couple months. I love Dayseeker. Dayseeker was featured on this song. And I will say, like, Dayseeker, Rain City Drive doesn't really get heavy. Dayseeker, they can get heavy. They don't always, but they do get a little bit of screamy, a little bit of heavier riffs. So when I saw this back in the day, I was like, oh, this is going to be a good one. And I wasn't wrong. It was definitely a very good song and one of my favorites off the album, honestly. I just kind of wish it had been a little heavier, especially because Like they have a really good like breakdown right there near the end with like the interlude and the outro that's like really riffy and almost kind of heavy as Rain City Drive can be, I guess. But like I wish it had been heavier.
They've got later in the album, they've got one that started getting pretty heavy. I'll point it out when we get to that one because I've got notes on that one. But yeah, I thought it was all right. I will say one thing. I was listening to a song. I'm like, I feel like the last several album reviews we've done have had a song on it that is like the chorus involves "Medicate Me" or something like that.
Really? I remember
swear,
that
dude.
happening on the Palais Royale.
Yeah,
a lot of
they had
times,
a couple
honestly.
on Palais Royale, and then what was the album we did right before that?
What would that have been? Let me see if I can find it here.
Was it the 4 Year Strong?
That was the 4 Year Strong.
I swear there's one like that. I swear like the past like
I bet there is.
The past 4 album reviews, it feels like, has been like there's a song that specifically hits on like "Medicate Me" or "I Need Drugs to Pass It" or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. That has nothing to do with Rain City Drive specifically.
But I feel like the lyrics of this song, when they talk about "medicate me," they mean more like "give me your attention." Like, I need you. You're my medication.
Oh, Robert.
You know,
finding that deeper meaning.
I also like the lyrics when on Dayseeker's verse when he said, "No, we don't live in the past, live in the moment. You know it don't last." I don't know what about that really like struck a chord with me, but I thought that was well written.
Yeah,
because you can't live in the past, but the moment also sucks because it's not gonna last.
Yeah, I do. I like that. I didn't catch that one. That was solid. Yeah, well, not a bad one to pick as your favorite. I mean, clearly not the best choice for a favorite.
I think probably top 3, but I don't think it's my favorite.
I'm curious to see what your favorite is because I'm curious if we'll have the same favorite this time. But so
I don't know that my favorite will come as a surprise. But what's up?
You don't think yours will come as a surprise?
No, but we'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
Okay, all right. Well, Over Me is the next one, which I thought it was a pretty good song. It's a good It's a good sad song. I like the writing of it. Just a real good one of those. I thought we were gonna last forever, but then it ended. Songs. I like the Faces from Overseas Keep Me Company. I like that line.
Yeah, I thought
that was a cool little line. It's part of the like main chorus. He says that at the very beginning too. So, I mean it kind of gives me like a really like not like classic like pop rock or whatever vibe, but more of like a 2000s to 2024 style pop rock.
Yeah,
like 2010s. I don't know if I said 2010s, but yeah. So like more recent pop rock, it's got like that feel to it. So it's a good song. It's not gonna be my favorite, but I liked it.
So not like would you put it near the top of the album?
If I think I could probably point out my top 4, and so maybe this would be top 5.
Okay,
but I mean it's not a super long album.
I was gonna say it was top 3 for me.
Oh, okay.
This was another one of their singles. So like I've been listening. I've known this song for a little while. I thought it was really catchy chorus, like you said about losing somebody that you thought was gonna be you didn't think you were gonna lose or whatever. But yeah, this song's catchy. The chorus gets stuck in my head. I thought it was a good song. But yeah. I would put it in top 3 for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's this whole album is a pretty good. If you're going through that breakup, I don't know. This album could probably be pretty good.
This album's probably the one for you.
Yeah, because it's got just about every song is like that. I don't know.
Like I said, a lot of the albums we cover now are like have a lot to do with breakups. I don't know how the cards are falling that way, but they are.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There was a song where I felt like I don't know if it's a a breakup song or just like someone's not in their life anymore and that was important to him. But for the most part, it is. I mean, it could be construed as a breakup song.
I bet I know which song you're talking about.
Oh, okay. But yeah, well, Over Me, a good breakup song, I guess. I like it. Rob really likes it, apparently.
I really like these breakup songs, man.
Yeah. I think I'm just too cool, you know? So
I think you're too happily in a relationship with things that are going right for you to truly relate to this album.
Correct, Rob. I'm sorry.
You're out of touch with the people.
Don't hate me for my happiness.
It's like when Good Charlotte goes on tour and then they sing like, what's the song about
the
being
anthem?
Poor? No, what's the Rob the Rich People song?
Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous.
Yeah, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. It's like when they sing that, it's like, no. You're the rich and the famous.
Yeah, I'd be like, sorry guys. Yeah.
You can't relate anymore. You have to take that one out of the rotation. But it is a fan favorite, so they have to.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's no avoiding it. They've got a couple songs like that.
Yeah.
So. But that one, I will say that I think that speaks more to like, because that's like one of their OG songs in it, isn't it?
Yeah,
so I feel like it speaks.
They definitely wrote it when they related to it for sure.
Yeah, because they left home with like $50 or something like that, didn't they? And
really,
were like, I feel like I'm gonna totally misremember their story, but I felt it was something like they left home because they're brothers. The two lead singers are brothers.
Yeah,
and they left home with like $50 or something like that, like broke, like kind of living it out of the car for a while before they started getting their music to take off. I don't know the ins and outs of their story, but I'm pretty sure it was something like that.
I didn't know that. I don't know anything about this story. I know
casual fan,
and I'm not hating on Good Charlotte, but like because we've seen them a couple times in concert too.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think I kind of grew out of them. Their rock is a little too basic for me now. Like anytime Good Charlotte comes up in the shuffle, I'm like, skip.
I kind of grew out of
them.
Although
they did help form my music taste, so I can't hate too hard.
Yeah. And the anthem's always still, if you're at like like we were at the Sum 41 concert and they're playing all those classic songs before, I'll still rock out hard in like those settings and stuff like that. And if the anthem comes up on my shuffle, I might listen to it. But I think the last time I went to one of their concerts, me and you did, I think it was when they might have been with like state champs, I think.
I think it was 4 Years Strong.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds right. I don't know. I was just kind of like, first of all, I was like, wow, I really don't. They have a lot more music than I knew. Way more. Because their set was pretty long. And I was
they were the headliner.
Yeah. And I was like, man, I don't know if I was listening to the songs and like, I don't know if these are great songs either. So.
Yeah. Speaking of Sum 41, that's something I also wanted to address. I know at the end of our last episode, we talked about doing like a mini vlog or like an Instagram reel worth of the final Sum 41 tour, and then we completely forgot to like do anything about that.
Yeah.
We didn't record anything. I mean, like I took some videos of some songs, but like
that hit me in the beginning of
anything out of it.
That hit me at the beginning of this week. Well, the other issue is I didn't know how great my videos would really be because we were not off to the side too much, but we didn't get in the pit, which was really stupid, and that's a whole thing that is Ticketmaster's fault. But
yeah, that was irritating.
Yeah, Ticketmaster for sure scammed us.
Those of you that are listening, when we first bought tickets to the Sum 41 show, I think it was Live Nation was selling the tickets, not Ticketmaster, but Live Nation or Ticketmaster, whoever it was. When we bought the tickets, we bought pit tickets because we're like, it's Sum 41's final show. Like we've been to a handful of their concerts, we've been listening to them for forever, and it's their final tour. We gotta go hard in the pit. So we bought pit tickets, and then a couple months go by, and I just go back to check on the tickets just for poops and gigs, and realize, we no longer have GA pit, we have GA like
lower level,
whatever, lower level. And I was looking at the map, and GA lower level is obviously behind GA pit. So I emailed the venue like, hey, when we bought these tickets, this is what happened. They're like, well, you gotta, email Live Nation, blah blah blah. I was like, oh, that sucks. So our plan was try to sneak into the pit when we get there, but that pit was locked down, dude. There was 2 entry points, and they had like 5 people at each point.
Yeah,
checking tickets and stuff. We tried to, like, the one guy told us that we could maybe check the box office and see if we could upgrade. And I was like, if it's like another $30-$50, I might do it just so I can get into the pit. But then they were sold out.
Yep.
Of pit tickets, so they weren't even going to let anyone do it, which is a bummer. But we tore it up right there at GA at the lower level.
Yeah.
We had that one dude that just like randomly joined our group, and we were like moshing right in the aisle.
Yeah.
Causing all kinds of fire hazards.
And then the last song you saw, there were a couple people that came down. I think they were watching us.
Yeah.
They were probably watching us the whole time because we were right on like that aisle. So we had a bunch of space in front of us. So we were making little mosh pits the whole time. They were probably watching us and being like, all right, you know what? The last song, we got to get down in there. So, because I turned around and there was a couple random people that hadn't been there the whole time that jumped in. So.
Yeah, that was a blast, dude. I had banged so hard at that concert that my shoulders and my neck were actually in pain until the next Saturday. Like, I was actually hurting all week long.
I wasn't hurting that bad. I mean, I was feeling it like the next day or two, but that's crazy.
I didn't think I was doing anything more than I normally do at a concert, but apparently I'm an old man now.
Yeah, well, are you basically 40?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
If you're not 15, you're basically 40.
Yeah, and if you're basically 40, you're basically a grandpa.
But hey, this grandpa was showing these kids how to get down. We had people coming down to mosh with us, so
yeah, because
got to inspire the youngsters.
Because Detroit's pit did not know how to be a mosh pit. That looked
dude, that was the other
sad.
thing. I was like I was watching that pit. I was like, man, I'm glad I didn't actually spend the money to be down in there because they're not doing anything anyways.
Yeah, they didn't they did almost nothing for the interrupters, which I get. The interrupters weren't the headliner, but I mean, I still was enjoying I
enjoyed it.
Their set, and they had a couple songs that I knew too, and most people knew. So I'm like, man, that crowd just sucked. That pit crowd was awful.
I always feel bad for bands when they have to get up and the crowd just doesn't even move.
Yeah,
especially when they specifically let's open up this pit and no one moves an inch. It's like, oh, yeah, that's got to suck so bad. Because then they have to just keep on going like someone did open up the pit.
Yeah, that's pretty much every concert in Cleveland, bro.
Honestly, yeah, especially that
Cleveland
one tour we went to.
Yeah, Cleveland's a terrible concert city. Their crowd's
which is crazy because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Cleveland, so you would think that's like the hub for rock and roll, but it is not.
It is not. So
I love Cleveland, but y'all need to rock a little harder.
Yeah. Anyways, I gotta remember honestly where we were.
We were discussing Over Me. We're moving on to Frozen now.
Frozen. So this is actually a cover of the song from Frozen, I believe. What? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I was gonna say, hold on. I believed you for a second, and I was like, no, it is not,
dude. The Disney hit movie Frozen has the lyrics, "Looking for something to cope with. All I see is the feel of your body is feeling hopeless."
They ad-libbed a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's Frozen. It's from Frozen 2, where she saw her parents die.
I believed you for a second, then I was like, wait, no, Frozen's the name of the movie, you liar.
I'm sorry,
but no, it is not a cover of Frozen. It's not a cover of the entire movie.
I thought it was a good song, though. I really liked Frozen.
This is one of the songs that I recommended at the end of one of our episodes.
Yeah.
Back in the day, because this was another one of their singles. This was my favorite song off the album. I really like what I really love the chorus, how he does the like I said, he like fluctuates his voice when he holds those words out, and he's like blurring the lines.
Yeah. And I like he does a good job when he like busts into the chorus and he goes, "But we're frozen," like hits that.
Yeah.
It's this was a good song, and I like that lyric that I read. I had it written down because I just thought I like the sound of the lyric. I know it's a little. I always pick out some fairly emo sounding lyrics, but shut up, Dad. So
it's not just a phase.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. But
did you know our dad occasionally listens to this podcast?
Dad, I wasn't saying shut up to you. I was making an emo joke. That's the joke. But yeah,
somehow me and him got on the conversation once about podcasts because he also has a college friend that has a music podcast. And so like we're just talking about podcasts for a little bit. I was like, oh, me and Steven have a music podcast, and I sent it to him. He's like, yeah, I don't know how he found it, but he's like, yeah, I listen to it every once in a while. I'm like, oh, all right.
All right. I appreciate the
OG
sport,
fan
Pops.
right there.
Yeah, Dad's one of the OG fans. Let's go, dude.
Buy our merch, Dad.
Yeah. Also, can you sponsor us so we can make merch?
Can your eBay store sponsor us? Or your antiques selling booth?
Jeffrey's Antiques booth sponsor us.
Sponsored by Jeffrey Antiques booth number 154.
You all know it. Anyways,
for all your antique needs.
Anyways, Frozen.
But yeah, I think that was my favorite song on the album.
Okay,
I mean, I've liked it for a long time, but I think it's still my number one pick.
We did not have the same favorites, but it is that. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good one, but I don't know where I would put. I feel like I could have actually maybe ranked this album, actually given it an order, because there's been a lot of albums where it had several songs that I thought were meh, and had a couple songs that I thought were boring, and a couple songs that I thought were good. And it would be harder to kind of rank them. But this one, I don't know. I feel like I could actually rank them if I sat down and
I think I could have too.
Yeah. Well, the next one is Never Bloom. This would be one of my favorites. This might be top 3 for me. How did you? I'm just curious how you felt about Never Bloom.
Well, when you were talking about what was it? Wish You the Best, I think, where you grow without someone or you lose someone that you thought was over me.
Yeah.
You were saying there was another song on this album that kind of had the same message. I feel like this is the one you were talking about.
Oh yeah, I even wrote the note down.
It was a song about like you're growing, your life is getting better without this person that you thought was going to be there to grow with you, someone that you cared about. They're never going to see your flowers bloom. I didn't have a whole lot to say about this song. I did like it. Yeah, it was one of the more mellow, kind of almost more emo sounding songs with like a really smooth, catchy chorus. But I didn't have a whole lot to say about it.
Yeah, I had this already saved. Wait, is this? Oh no! Whoops! I totally had that. What song did? Oh yeah, I did have this one saved or downloaded. So I don't know. It's in a playlist somewhere.
I think it was one of their singles.
What's that?
I think it was one of the singles.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. So I think I had this saved somewhere. I'm not sure where though. But I liked it because, I mean, it does, like you said, have, like, kind of that more emo-y flow to it. But when it, like, gets to that chorus, it has more of, like, that style of singing where it's, like, that desperation, like, passion singing. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to describe it. Desperation's the word I came up with. So I liked the sound of it. So I don't know, man.
It was a good song. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. This album, I don't have bad song written down anywhere, so.
Yeah. Well.
I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah. So the next song is Aware. This is another one where I felt like was more of an average song. I don't know. How did you feel?
This is another one that I didn't have a whole lot to say about. But I liked the don't you dare turn around and act like you. I don't know if the word is own or no or oh, but like don't turn around and act like you owned me now. I thought that was I liked that part of it, and like right into the little interlude and kind of like a real short breakdown.
Yeah,
it was a good song, but I didn't have a whole lot to say about it.
it's got a lot of, it's got some good guitar work in it, so it's good to just kind of jam to, get a little bit of a head movement into it. I don't hate the song, but it really was one of the more average, if I dare say so. So this would be, it wouldn't be in my top. Sorry again, Rain City Drive, but they can't all be winners. Come on, get real.
But, even though you already have it saved.
No, that's Never Bloom.
Oh, yeah.
Where I did not have saved. But it's enough. I listened to it. A couple times on my way home today, too, because I'm like, I want to give this another shot, because I did like the guitar work in it, and he's got like a good, a little bit of yelling part. So I'm like, I got to give this another listen. But I was like, it's still shrug emoji. I don't know. Nothing I could pick out, so sorry, not much else I have to say on that song.
All right. Well, moving right on to Disarm the Hourglass. I thought this one was kind of another almost poppy, but more just because of that little like keyboard riff that they do during the chorus. Yeah, kind of made it sound a little poppier, but it's really not that poppy of a song. But not as poppy as like Concrete Closer I felt was. Yeah, but they do have like a good headbangable breakdown in this song.
Yeah,
so not super poppy, but
I like the song, but I was honestly like, I had to listen to this one a couple times because I ended up having to Google the lyrics because I was struggling. I think like the choruses, the lyrics kind of got lost behind the music. And for me, I'm always kind of annoyed when songs do that. When I'm like, I'm trying to listen to the words and I can't hear. I have no clue what's going on outside of the guitars. But I looked it up. I like the second verse where it's like, it says, over the hill, there's no way to win. Uncover the fossils under your skin. Secret apostles, alien gospel, sing in the choir of suffering. I thought that was just, I thought it was a cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, cool lyrics. Honestly, I can't even be 100% sure what it means, but I just thought it sounded cool.
But it is cool.
So I'm noting it. And you best believe I'm not going to do any more research after that, because that would be far too educated for this podcast.
Oh, yeah. We can't be Miller Toots over here.
Yeah. So if you want to know more, find We Know Toots, and maybe they can tell you. But I don't know Toots, so I can't
endorse
tell
them because they are our direct competitors.
Direct competitors and far too educated for my taste. So
bunch of nerds over there at We Know Toots.
Yeah, that's gonna be a puff pass for Steven. So
like I said, this was like a poppy chorus, but the chorus was a little bit faster paced. So I thought, I like I said, I think the pop just came from that little keyboard.
Yeah, I mean,
but like the chorus itself was like a faster chorus than Concrete Closure.
And that piano stays through it, but I mean, the last minute of the song does stay consistently pretty heavy, where you're just rocking out to it.
Yeah, like I said, there is a good little headbangable part to this song. So
yeah, so I mean, it's wouldn't be in the bottom of my rankings for sure. It would be mid range for me, but it's an overall good album. So this is still a pretty good song. IMO. All right. Well, I guess that moves us into Elusive Dream. Yeah, so this is definitely top 3 for me. So I really like this one. I had already listened to this like before you were like, hey, they're Rain City Drive album is coming out or came out, and I was like, yeah, that song must have come up in like my shuffle or something. But this song is a jam for sure for me. I don't know. Did you like it?
I did like it. I liked they had like that smooth guitar intro, kind of almost like an emo song. Kind of almost reminded me a little bit of like a Bullet for My Valentine song for some reason. I don't know why that was the band that popped in my head when I heard that intro, but like it was definitely a good little intro. It was one of the softer songs on the album, like more melodic.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one like grew on me. Like the more I listened to the album, like at first I would have probably put it near the bottom, but it definitely grew on me.
This is one of those songs when I was talking about at the beginning that like I really like the flow of the song and it has a good like movement and good instrumentals. This is one of the ones where I really like the flow of the song, and the lyrics are still good too. It's just like kind of like a song about how it's another one where kind of like they're in a bad situation, but they're also still kind of sad when it's over because it says grinding my teeth. You know the end is so bittersweet or something. I typed those lyrics out, but
so bittersweet.
Yeah, what is it?
Heaven knows the end is so bittersweet.
Okay. See, I typed this out.
I put those lyrics down too.
I think I was using speech text, so it says grind my teeth, have knows the end so bittersweet. So I was like, well, that's not correct.
That's not right.
Yeah, but
I put those lyrics down too. I thought it was definitely good lyricism on this song.
Yeah, so I like this song a lot. It's up there at the top for me. I've got it. This is another one that I saved.
Nice
to the playlist. It is a little softer, so it's it's not the best one that they have on the album, but it's pretty good, man.
And that brings us to the final song on the album,
Yes,
Sacrifice.
sir.
I want to know what you thought about this one.
This one's my favorite.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it not your favorite?
No, Frozen was my favorite.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that you would have anything positive to say about this one.
Really? I thought it was great. It gets, it starts off a little slow. The beginning of it, like the first chorus, kind of gives me like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse vibes. Like if you listen to it,
I get that. I get that.
Like I could see that in Into the Spider-Verse when he's like all sad. But yeah, dude. I mean, it's just that perfect level of heavy for me. I mean, it could be a little heavier, I think, but I thought it was a good song.
I did like that slow intro, that slow build into that first drop with the chorus.
Yeah.
I also once again really like their lyrics. I felt like the whole song is about being willing to make sacrifices to be better and be a stronger person and whatnot. And like this is kind of a weird comparison to make, and like maybe not even the best example, but like when I think of like really good like deep poetic lyrics, I think of like Hands Like Houses. They always have like really interesting lyrics that are really well phrased, and this song kind of reminded me of the way Hands Like Houses writes their songs.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Hands Like Houses has some good writing.
Yeah. But this felt like a really good outro to the album, especially with that slow build, and just the lyrical content of it just felt like a good way to round out the album.
It is. Yeah, that like around that 2-minute mark, it has that good build up and then just starts hitting the guitar. I think that would go so hard at a concert in a mosh pit, bro.
Right.
Like you just start thrashing, dude. That would be so good. That'd be a solid. Honestly, that song. I mean, it was a great ending to an album, and that could be a pretty solid ending to a concert as well.
Hey, they're coming to Greensboro, North Carolina next week. Next Thursday, unfortunately.
I won't be able to make it in for a Thursday one. Gall darn,
I wouldn't be able to either.
Gall darn, brother.
They're not doing a whole lot of American stops right now. Like they have like 7 or 8, and then like the rest of it's UK.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's kind of our life. Anytime we
that's how
do
it
want to
goes.
see a band. And then
That's
UK always
about how it
has
goes.
UK and Europe always has the best concerts or music festivals for the
They
style of music
always
we
do,
like.
dude. It's
That was
not fair.
especially like when I was first getting into my concert arc and you and I first started going to concerts together. Like every summer we'd have like at least 2 or 3 or 4 concerts we had booked. And it was just, I was always so mad because it was like, when I first started going to concerts is right when Warped Tour was hitting its end, like 2016.
Yeah.
They ended in like 2019. So those were already starting to die down. And then all of those bands that were at those concerts, all my favorite bands from past Warped Tours, they were like all at, what was it, Slam Dunk Fest? Is that the...
Yeah, Slam Dunk Fest is the big one.
Yeah, dude, that always looks so friggin' sweet.
We're doing that someday. We got to do it soon, too.
Yeah, especially since you were almost handicapped from a Sum 41 concert.
Yeah, before I, actually, injure myself and can't go to any more concerts.
Let's see here. I'm looking it up actually right now because I'm really curious to see. So they've got the 2025 dates out. So, Rob, do we want to go to... I don't know. So it's the UK in Hatfield and Leeds. We can go on the 24th of May or the 25th of May.
I mean, and look at this lineup. Yeah, they've had better lineups on first glance.
The lineup's pretty... I would like this.
It's all right.
A Day to Remember, Neck Deep, Newfound Glory. That would be fun.
Oh, no, am I looking at the wrong thing? Oh, this is 2023. Hold on.
Oh, you dork.
Let me see here. Yeah. Where the heck is the... No, this is still showing me the... What's going on here? Why can't I find the actual,
I'm on slamdunkfestival.com. That's where I went to.
Okay, here we go. I see it now. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Day to Remember, Hot Mulligan, Neck Deep, Newfound Glory.
Less Than Jake is fun. It's,
that is a fun. These would be really cool.
There's a couple I don't know. I've never heard of
That's not a... You never heard of who?
Electric Callboy?
You've probably heard... I think Durbin showed me one of their songs once. Which surprised me because it's it's almost like old Breathe Carolina, really dubsteppy, but all of a sudden gets really rocky with screams in it.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, that would be fun.
That's not a bad lineup there, right there, though.
Sounds like we're doing it, Rob.
I mean, we can definitely plan on it.
All right, that's the We Don't Know Toots lineup or meetup is in Leeds, baby. Well,
I would not hate that.
Well, that was bad timing for a beautiful cough from Steven. That's my song suggestion for the week, is just me coughing and dying. So, just so you guys know. But yeah, so overall, back to that album. Great album, I really do. I mean, if you listen to our podcast consistently, I feel like you're either a family member or you like that style of music. That's probably how you found us, is getting into that, if you're into that rock, pop rock, punk rock kind of style of music. So you would like this album, guys. It is fantastic. Got some good headbanging album, but if you're a little softer and don't like the headbanging, they've got some stuff for you too in the album. So give the band a listen to, though, because I had one of their songs saved back when you first suggested them on the podcast, and then I went and listened to them, and now I've got several of their songs saved. So who knows, maybe they will be in my top for the year. I doubt it, but maybe. No offense.
Well, let's round this out. We're gonna close this out with a good old song recommendation from each of us. What do you recommend our listeners listen to this week, Steve?
Okay, this has been a tough week for me to decide because I'm getting into a different style, like that more of that blues rock kind of style of music. But I've got a song that I was digging hard. You've heard it, "Off the Tracks" by Tyler Jakes.
I like that song,
dude. I love that guitar intro, like after the little phone call bit, and then it just hits that. Great song. This band actually, I mean they've been making music for over 10, let's see here, their first album. Oh, this song is from 2008, and they have an album in 2005. This song, even still being from 2008, only has 146,000 listens on Spotify, and that's their only one over 100,000. All their other ones are like 20, 10, 9,000. So at least in their top listens on Spotify, they only have 4,000 monthly listeners. So I thought about, it's just, I thought about using it as like a songs under 200,000 played thing or something like that. But I don't know how this song has less than that because that song is great.
That's surprising.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend "Off the Track" by Tyler Jakes. Cover your eyes with the album art. I mean, it's fine. But
it's obscene.
You're
going to have to go to extra church.
Anyways, Roberto, give me some hot recommendations.
All right, well, I feel like our announcement earlier about only reviewing like rock and alt rock general scenes is excluded from our end show recommendations.
Yes.
So I'm going to recommend a song called Contra, and the artist is, I want to say Carrie. It's Khary, featuring Abi the Nomad. Just a really catchy hip hop song. Got a really catchy beat. I don't know why, but I've had it on repeat a lot recently. It's very catchy. So, Contra by Carrie and Abi the Nomad.
All right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Some sweet, hot, new tracks to grace your ear nubbers. Take it seriously.
That we do know.
Yeah. So, there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to us ramble about some nautical nonsense in the music world. It do be something that we like, so we appreciate you stopping by. And
we like it, we just don't know it.
Yeah. But we'll catch you on the next episode. With that being said, I'm your host, Steven Schultz, joined by my co-host, Roberto Schultz.
That's me.
If you're nasty. Catch us next time where we talk about probably Toots.